Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today, we're diving into the hottest tech of the year, smartphones. 2024 has been a banner year for mobile innovation, with some truly mind-blowing devices hitting the market. So, buckle up as we count down the top 5 best smartphones of 2024. You can buy these smartphones from the links that are given in the description below. Let's get into it. 5. Nothing Phone 2. Nothing has taken everything we loved about its but smartphone effort and turned things up a notch. The Glyph interface. It's smarter now, with more LEDs that better represent countdown timers, incoming notifications, and even how long until your Uber driver will turn up. The transparent design. It's slicker, with slightly curved rear glass that better sits in your hand and a larger 6.7-inch screen. Performance is very respectable for a mid-range phone, using last year's flagship chip, and while the camera hardware hasn't changed significantly, there are still image quality gains in both daylight and nighttime settings. It's the Nothing OS 2.0 that stands out the most, though. It's a fantastic spin on Android with consistent styling that puts widgets front and center. For the money, it's a very tempting alternative to a Pixel 8 Pro or OnePlus 11. Nothing's bespoke Android UI has reached a major milestone with Phone 2. Nothing OS 2.0 goes all in on custom icons and widgets, which can even be added to the always-on display for at-a-glance info or quick access to shortcuts. It might have the same pixel count as Phone 1, but Nothing has overhauled Phone 2's main camera with a brand new Sony IMX890 sensor. The 50MP snapper is paired to an f/1.88 aperture lens, has phase detect autofocus, and optical image stabilization. Your snaps are downsampled to 12MP by default, but there's a 50MP toggle in the camera app's menus to use the sensor's entire surface area. A 2x toggle also uses a mix of sensor cropping and algorithms for a less lossy zoom. 4. OnePlus 11. Delivering killer specs at a competitive price point, the OnePlus 11 hits a home run. Its all-screen frontage fits the modern mold, complemented by a tactile matte back. The display itself is simply brilliant, with dynamic refresh rates ranging from 1 to 120 Hz. A trademark alert slider marks it out as a OnePlus handset, while Hasselblad branding on the distinctive circular camera bump hints at enhanced shooting modes. Results are great in most conditions, with Pro and 12-bit RAW Plus options offering useful flexibility for serious snappers and low light, seeing an improvement from last year. Performance is predictably superb, while battery life proved impressively frugal throughout our testing. When the 5000 mAh cell did run empty, 100W SuperVOOC refueling had it back to full in just over half an hour. If you're after a flagship bargain, the OnePlus 11 comfortably undercuts every major rival. 3. Google Pixel 8 Pro. With a design that has matured like a fine wine, a simply stunning screen, and some of the most capable cameras you'll find on a phone, the Pixel 8 Pro finally feels deserving of that Pro label, even if it comes at the expense of the smaller, cheaper Pixel 8. Extensive software support means it could earn a place in your pocket for years to come. But that's not to say there aren't areas where rivals do things better. Performance, battery life, and charging speeds are good rather than great, and the growing reliance on generative AI is sure to divide opinions. The temperature sensor also feels like a flash in the pan right now. Previous Pro Pixels had their sore spots, of course, and they also had value on their side. The Pixel 8 Pro still compares favorably on price with the iPhone 15 Pro Max and Galaxy S23 Ultra, but not by a lot. That means you have to be more of a Google diehard to pick this over the very capable alternatives. You'll be very happy with your purchase if you do. 2. Apple iPhone 15 Pro Max. This is the best iPhone Apple's ever made. The camera revisions are great. USB-C was long overdue, but is fantastic now it's here. The action button is useful, and all this builds on already top-notch components like the display, speakers, and app ecosystem. Of course, you might argue that too much change in the iPhone is iterative rather than revolutionary, although this complaint usually comes from tech journos jaded by dozens of phones flying past their noses every week rather than most normal people who upgrade their phones every other year. So should you buy one? Not if you already own last year's Pro Max. The differences aren't big enough, unless you are a very keen photographer, desperate for USB-C, or have a fetish for chamfered edges. Everyone else. If you can afford it, and if you want the best Apple has to offer, the iPhone 15 Pro Max really is the best. The camera array looks unchanged. It isn't. The telephoto jumps from 3x to 5x, unlike on the iPhone 15 Pro, which brings meaningful separation from the 2x zoom. So the telephoto doesn't comically jut out. Apple does clever things with the tetraprism design that reflects light 4 times to enable the longer focal length. During testing, the 5x zoom allowed for wildlife and urban shots that otherwise wouldn't have been possible. I reckon it'll be great for sports. My captured photos had low noise and good levels of sharpness and detail. The new telephoto even gave me a chance to shoot quite good pics at 10x digital zoom, although I'd say to forget about ramping it all the way up to 25x. 1. Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra. If you're shopping for the ultimate smartphone experience in 2023, the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra is top of the tree. Superlative in every respect, it exceeded all expectations in testing. Clad in Gorilla Glass Victus 2, it feels equal parts premium and rugged in the hand. Its sizable 6.8-inch AMOLED display is sublime on the eyes, while the bundled S Pen stylus is more responsive than ever. Performance is peerless, courtesy of a Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 CPU running at higher speeds than any rival. The Ultra simply whizzes through almost every app, task, and game. The top-spec S23 also has many camera highlights to summarize. From zoom clarity to color reproduction, its 200MP main sensor and trio of secondary lenses are sublime. Yes, you'll pay handsomely for the privilege of squeezing an S23 Ultra into your pocket. But if you're willing to do so, your reward will be the best overall smartphone you do buy right now. It isn't the first phone we've seen with a 200MP rear camera. That honor goes jointly to the Xiaomi 12T Pro and Motorola Edge 30 Ultra. But the Galaxy S23 Ultra is first in line for Samsung's homegrown HP2 sensor. As well as being able to take exceptionally detailed 200MP stills in bright conditions, it uses 16:1 pixel binning for equally impressive low-light snaps. Like every Ultra that came before it, the S23 Ultra is a performance monster. There are no Exynos-equipped variants this time around, with all versions powered by a Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, paired to either 8 or 12 GB of RAM. So there you have it, the top 5 best smartphones of 2024. Whether you're an Android enthusiast, an Apple devotee, or just looking for the best tech on the market, there's a phone on this list for you. Remember, the best phone is the one that best suits your needs and budget. So do your research, compare features, and find the perfect smartphone companion for you.